you over, you just can't breathe.
Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earthquake? Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earthquake? Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earthquake? Do you feel your bones start to shake? Do you feel the earthquake?
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. So today I'm going to be flying British Airways. I've not flown British Airways in a long time. I'm flying them to Nigeria. And the interesting thing is a lot of people on social media, like I think over the past couple of months and even the past few years, have really been complaining about the state of British Airways in terms of the plane that goes to Nigeria back and forth. And literally that's the reason why I'm actually flying British Airways, to really experience it myself. It's been a long time since I've flown them. When I was younger, I used to fly them all the time because they were one of the few airlines that flew directly from Lagos to London, London to Lagos. And I decided that I'm going to fly them to just see how the experience is, if it's the same as what you guys think it is. But I'm flying business class on this particular route going from London to Lagos. But on my way back, I'm going to review the premium economy cabin for you guys, because I might as well. Have you guys flown British Airways before? Would you guys recommend it? The reason why I stopped flying them, to be honest, is that I found them over the years quite expensive compared to the other likes that would have connections. They're definitely, a direct flight is definitely going to be more expensive, understandably. But this particular ticket was actually not that expensive because there was a deal happening in the premium economy cabin, and I paid for an upgrade, which wasn't that expensive. So I just checked in now. Check-in was super smooth. As a business class passenger, or Club World, that's British Airways call their business passengers, or business cabin, you have access to a lounge. I think it's a South Gallery lounge, so I'm gonna go there. You also, as a business class passenger, you have priority like security, which is good. That means even if you're late to the airport, you can really scoot by and pass security very quickly. But yes, guys, I really want to know, what do you guys think about British Airways? Would you recommend them, like especially on that London to Lagos route? Let me know. Yeah, so I really hope you enjoy this flight review. It's going to be on a 747. It's 2 decks. I have an upper deck, but I'm going to be staying in the lower deck business cabin. Pretty much, apparently the business cabin is pretty much full. The guy also told me that the economy cabin was oversold, so a lot of people are going to get pushed, like given free upgrades. Yeah. Anyways, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this review. I really hope you check me out on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, like I'm trying to get 20,000 subscribers, join the family. Let's engage, like leave me comments on your thoughts on BA. And yes, I hope you enjoy this review. Let's go. British Airways Club World passengers have access to a fast-track security line, which for me ended up to be very fast. I made my way through Terminal 5, which is a dedicated BA terminal. Essentially, only British Airways flights that can depart from this terminal. And I went straight to the Galleries Lounge, which is the lounge that's accessible by Club World passengers, which is what British Airways calls their business class. The Galleries Club Lounge is a very sizable lounge with free Wi-Fi access. There were many complimentary magazines available for guests. The breakfast spread at this lounge was pretty impressive, with many baked goods and full breakfast options, and even champagne for those of you that love that too. After spending an hour at the lounge, I made my way to the gate.
If your flight is departing from B or C gates, please board the next available train from either platform.
So literally guys, I have to take a transit train to get to the sea gate. This normally takes, I think, 20 minutes if you walk it, but it's just a couple of minutes if you take the transit, which I am gonna take. Business class passengers have priority boarding over other classes such as economy and premium economy. The business class cabin was spread over the upper and lower deck. I chose a lower deck seat, and in the lower deck, the configuration for the seating was a 2-4-2, which isn't my particular favorite configuration for a business class cabin. Nevertheless, I was very happy with my window seat 20A, as I had no interruptions and no one basically blocking my access to my seat. The business class seats, or should I say Club World seats, on British Airways was very large and sizable. On arriving on board, we were offered complimentary drinks, to which I opted for water. By the footrest of my seat was a document which highlighted how to make one comfortable in the cabin. I liked this particularly because it made it easy for those that have never flown Club World before, very comfortable about the operations of their seats. By the way, did I mention this was my first time ever flying British Airways business class on this route? We were then provided with the Club World menu, which was a very extensive and detailed menu of what we were to expect during the flight. Also provided was an amenity kit from the White Company, a brand that I particularly like. Inside the amenity kit was a fluffy eye mask, socks, a pen, toothbrush and toothpaste, earplugs, moisturizer, lip balm. The amenity bag itself was actually quite nice, i.e. made with good quality materials, and something I took with me after my flight. Leave me a comment to let me know whether you always take your amenity kit with you when you leave the plane or you leave it behind. A quick visit to the washroom whilst the flight was a bit delayed. It was quite clean, stocked with more white company goods, which was lovely to see. I don't know about you guys, but I am a fan of nice scented products, so this was a highlight for me. The only improvement in the washroom for me would be the size, but you guys already know that is something I complain about on most of my flights. On getting back to my seat, I opened up my noise cancelling headphones, which were very comfortable, to watch the funny safety demonstrations. Probably one of my highlights on the plane was the bedding that was provided for the journey ahead, also from the white company. The fabric was very nice and very comfortable and very soft, which definitely made the trip and the flight and my sleep on the plane very, very nice. The in-flight entertainment system on British Airways Club World cabin was quite extensive. There were a lot of movies to watch, a lot of audio music to listen to, which I was quite impressed by. And also the size of the screen was actually quite sizable, effective enough to watch while lying down. What I also loved was the fact that the screen could be basically shifted away and tucked in into the seats. When it comes to the food, the first snack that was provided was some assorted nuts and a drink. Next was an aubergine starter with some bread rolls, which was very tasty. I particularly loved how the rolls were a combination of 3 different flavors. Next, I was provided with my pre-ordered meal and I ordered rice and chicken. It was interesting because you're allowed to pre-order your meal on business class a couple of days before your flight, which I did, just to make sure that I got exactly what I wanted to eat. The rice and chicken was very delicious. The chicken was really lovely. I really couldn't fault the meal that was served on this flight. I was so full by the time that I had a few bites of this meal. Finally, for dessert, a warm strudel dessert was served with custard, and this also was quite tasty.
What is real and what is fake, and the risk we have to take. Will we know what is throwing off our balance? We cannot sink into the dark. The vertigo is getting sharp. There's something greater than ourselves.
I ended up sleeping for a couple of hours, which was probably one of the best sleeps that I've had on a plane. Just before landing, we were served with some sandwiches and dessert and tea. I only accepted this meal just to show you guys what was served because the truth was I was so full by the end of this flight.
On my mind, sustained with hope, and you were sure I couldn't agree that we were meant to be. But
Before I forget to mention, I would say that the flight attendants that were on this British Airways flight were extremely lovely and very nice. Like, they were just very attentive and super polite and very smiley. So I was really impressed with the service they gave on the flight.
so wild and free, and you know everything about me. You know everything about me. You know everything.
We landed in a rainy Lagos after a quick 6-hour flight.
You know everything about me. 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 Save me from myself. I really need your help. I'm going under.
There was a quick power outage as we got off the plane. What a better way to welcome us to Lagos. Overall, it was a very pleasant flight and not what I was expecting based on the many negative reviews I've seen on social media about the boarding experiences on British Airways from London to Lagos. I'm really hoping that my experience coming from Lagos back to London will be similar, and I hope you guys definitely check that out once it's out. I really hope you enjoyed this flight review. Leave me a comment on your thoughts on the review. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and thank you for your support as always, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.